Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today, we are going to be taking a deep dive look at a very interesting new skincare brand launch called Prequel. It has been a very long time since I've done a dedicated video on a new skincare brand or a new line within a brand. And that's because number one, I feel like I haven't really been inspired by any brand launches or again, lines within brand launches over like the past year or so. And also I haven't really seen any, I've seen requests, of course, for skincare brand reviews, but I haven't seen a lot of requests for a new brand launch in a long time. So I feel like you guys have been kind of feeling similarly to me, just not super inspired in the new skincare space. That is until now with this brand right here called Prequel. I have gotten so many requests to review Prequel, and that's because this is a brand that was not only created by a board certified medical and cosmetic dermatologist, but also a fellow content creator here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram named Dr. Sam Ellis. We have plenty of influencer / content creator brands at this point. I feel like we are continuing to see more and more launches from influencers, whether it be in the skincare space, the makeup space. I feel like those are really the only two kind of beauty spaces, but it's definitely not every day that we see the launch of an influencer brand from an influencer who is also a dermatologist. So I totally understand why this is a brand that has enticed so many of you and captured your attention. I felt the same exact way when I saw that this was launching. To be totally transparent, as I always am, I feel like I should just disclose any relationship that I have with the brand / Dr. Sam right now. And well, we did not have any sort of relationship prior to me receiving PR from the brand. So I did receive all 3 of their product launches for free. However, Dr. Sam and I had never spoken before I got that PR. I did follow her on all of her social media platforms and I enjoyed her content, but that was the extent of the relationship. So of course, this video is not sponsored. She's not paying me to talk about this. There was no request to talk about the products or review the products in any way. And it's not like her and I have been besties behind the scenes talking about these products for months and I'm secretly posting about it, but really biased at the same time. So I would say the biggest reason why this brand in particular caught my attention is because of the way that Dr. Sam described it. So when speaking on why she decided to create Prequel, she said that as a dermatologist, she has seen, used, and recommended a lot of skincare, of course, from drugstore brands to medical grade pharmaceuticals and cosmeceuticals. But despite the options out there, she has always felt that there was a greater need for more advanced, elegant formulations that are accessible to all. And that's why she created Prequel. And I feel like that perfectly summarizes what I have been feeling about skincare over maybe the past year and what I think a lot of consumers have been feeling about skincare, because we all went through this movement of skincare education and I feel like just excitement back in 2020. And at that point, all of these affordable drugstore brands were blowing up. Everyone was obsessed with CeraVe and The Ordinary and all of these brands that offered products at really affordable prices. But as time went on, I feel like people started to realize that while yes, these products are recommended or, stamped of approval, not a sentence. While yes, a lot of those brands and products were given a stamp of approval by dermatologists or recommended by them and they had amazing ingredients, they didn't have the most amazing, elegant formulations. They felt a bit more basic compared to these higher end skincare products that are at much higher price points. So I feel like slowly but surely people started to gravitate back towards higher end skincare because of the desire to have a more elevated experience when it comes to application and just have products that feel more luxurious. So to me, in reading this, it seems that Dr. Sam created Prequel in an attempt to bridge the gap between those two things. Let's bring the amazing ingredients, the dermatology stamp of approval, in with the elegant, elevated formulations. So we are going to see If Prequel delivers on that here today, I of course am going to be reviewing all 3 of the products that they launched, which include a cleanser, a moisturizing milk for the face and body. I actually think this cleanser says it's for the face and body as well. Yep. And a skin utility ointment. Like all of my reviews, we're going to talk about the ingredients in these products. I will show you the texture of them up close. I'll show you myself applying them in case that helps you figure out whether or not you're interested in purchasing these. And because of the claims of this brand and the fact that it was created by a dermatologist, I thought it may be helpful to give a little bit of a comparison to some of the most popular, affordable dermatologist-approved brands at the drugstore like Cetaphil, CeraVe, and La Roche-Posay. So throughout this video, as we are talking about these products, I will be breaking down the price per ounce of each product compared to comparable products from each of those brands and sharing my thoughts on just like the ingredients and the texture and how those things compare as well, and what I like the best. So hopefully that gives you enough background to understand my thoughts on this brand, where I'm coming from, kind of how I want to approach this review. That's enough of that. Let's just jump on into it. All right, so we already have a good understanding of why this brand was created, but I feel like we should also quickly kick off with Prequel's philosophy, because I feel like this will help us to understand a bit about these products and what we can expect to receive in using them. Is that what I wanted to say? Maybe just like what we can expect from them is a better way of saying that. So at Prequel, they say, we exist to restore the skin barrier and deliver healthy skin from head to toe with our advanced, elegant formulations made with active ingredients. Our product philosophy always goes back to what we like to call basic plus. We formulate using tried and true dermatological ingredients and elevate them with unique sensorial and tactile experiences. Because we believe that products should not only work, but also provide an experience that makes you genuinely love and enjoy using them every day. Agreed. Couldn't agree more. Okay, I feel like that just further backs up my assumptions about like the main purpose of this brand and like where they felt they kind of like fit in the market. Sorry, I can't not with my marketing brain. Let's jump over to the cleanser first and talk a little bit about this bad boy right here. So this is called the Gleanser. You heard that right. Gleanser with a G, which stands for glycerin cleanser. So this is a non-drying glycerin cleanser for the face and body. It is formulated with 50% glycerin, which is amazing. That is just gonna make this so incredibly hydrating. Inulin and a unique aquaporin stimulating active to boost skin suppleness. I did have to do a little bit of digging to find out exactly what that meant, and I found a little snippet on PubMed that I feel explains this well. Aquaporins are proteins that facilitate the transport of moisture. Facilitate the transport of water across cell membranes. So they are supposed to be key protein targets to improve the resistance and quality of the skin surface and improve aging and sun exposure induced dryness. So essentially amazing for hydration and barrier support and recovery. This cleanser costs $18 and contains 13.5 fluid ounces of product, making this about $1.30 per ounce. In comparison to some similar cleansers from, again, CeraVe, Cetaphil, and La Roche-Posay, that actually puts this at the second most affordable behind Cetaphil. Both CeraVe and La Roche-Posay have more expensive cleansers than this one. Let's just hope I did that math right. Ingredients worth highlighting in this cleanser include, of course, the 50% glycerin, inulin, aloe juice, oat kernel flour, and lecithin. No, I did it again. Lecithin. If you've been watching my skincare videos for a while, then you know that I have such a hard time pronouncing that word. I don't know what it is. This is fragrance-free and it has a pH of 4.5. There's not a super great way to compare ingredients across brands because a fair comparison is not just looking at how many nice ingredients are in each product and then being like, oh, well, there's 6 nice ones in Prequel and only 3 in Cetaphil, so obviously Prequel's better. It all comes down to the amount of the ingredients used and how your skin responds to that blend of ingredients. But just in case any of you were curious to see how this ingredients list stacks up against those other brands, I did just want to throw that on the screen for you. I think the biggest thing that actually stands out to me is the fact that this is free from niacinamide. That is something that I feel like I've been seeing a lot in the comments. It's a common theme with you guys where because niacinamide just like popped off and was such a viral ingredient for such a long time, all of these brands started adding niacinamide to their products, and a lot of you guys are irritated by that ingredient. So I am often asked if I have any recommendations for niacinamide-free skincare products. Here's a cleanser for you. This is the only one out of the 3 that does not contain niacinamide. All right, let's talk about how this feels and just my overall experience in using it. I can honestly say that I have never used a cleanser that feels like this. It's incredibly unique, and I think it's unique in a very, very good way. I love applying this. I love reaching for it. It has a true jelly-like texture, and I feel like some of you may be wondering how this compares to the Geek and Gorgeous Jelly Joker Cleanser, because that has jelly in the title, and you guys know I love that cleanser. They really are completely different. The Geek and Gorgeous one, yes, is a gel-like texture, but I don't want to say it's thicker, because, I mean, it is. It's thicker than this cleanser. That cleanser is obviously not thick, the one from Geek and Gorgeous, but when I'm comparing the two, this one from Prequel is just like so lightweight, so insanely like watery hydrating, not watery liquidy. It's really difficult to describe because, again, I've never used a cleanser like this, but it feels amazing on my skin. It's so soft, it's super hydrating. My skin never feels stripped after I used it. It's just one of those cleansers that I can use and be like, wow, my skin feels nice. So huge fan of this cleanser. It is definitely something that I'm going to continue using and loving. The one thing I wanted to make note of is that this claims to effectively remove makeup, and at first I was like, there is absolutely no way that this is going to remove like a full coverage face of makeup, because it just doesn't seem like it could. And it actually does. It does. I'll give it that. What I will say about it is, as I started to like rub this into my skin on top of my makeup, I did notice that it didn't have that like immediate meltdown quality of a really nice makeup remover or a cleansing oil or a cleansing balm. However, when I went in with my microfiber towel with water on it, like I always do, I was able to easily swipe my makeup away. I did put this on my mascara, like rubbed it on it, and there was no breakdown of my mascara. I hope that you guys can see that in the footage. I feel like my lashes just like clumped together more from the water in the product. I was able to get it off with that towel, but I did have to rub quite a bit. So I would say it's probably more of like the friction of the towel rubbing mixed with a little bit of this cleanser and water versus this being like an amazing makeup remover. So it can remove makeup. It can. It's just not going to be my go-to for that purpose. I will stick with my cleansing balms and oils, my micellar water, and then use this as a second step cleanse and love the heck out of it while I'm using it. In terms of comparing this to cleansers from those drugstore brands, I don't feel that there's anything even remotely comparable in terms of texture from CeraVe, Cetaphil, or La Roche-Posay. So I kind of picked out the cleansers that I felt would be maybe most comparable, like the foaming facial cleanser from CeraVe, the gentle skin cleanser from Cetaphil, my voice, and the Toleraine foaming cleanser from La Roche-Posay. I feel like really it would be that foaming cleanser from La Roche-Posay mixed with their hydrating cleanser, and that would make it comparable. There's just nothing quite like this Prequel cleanser from any of these other brands, but even compared to the ones that I tried to like compare it with, I far prefer the texture of Prequel and the experience of Prequel over all of these other ones, for what it's worth. All right, let's move on to the second product that they came out with, which is their Urea Advanced Relief Moisturizing Milk for the face and body. This is supposed to be a restoring face and body urea lotion that reestablishes optimal levels of hydration. It was formulated to nourish and soothe dry, rough, itchy, and flaky skin, and just provide an overall smoothed and evened out skin tone for healthier looking skin. This retails for $22 and has 3.5 ounces of product in it, making it $1.63 per ounce. I would say that this is definitely the most comparable to the CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion, and it is a little bit more expensive than that. It was harder to pick a comparison product from Cetaphil and La Roche-Posay because they do also have body lotions, but they're not technically for the face, whereas this can be used for both. So I just added a couple different products from those brands to like gauge the price point, and it is more expensive slightly than the body lotion options from both Cetaphil and La Roche-Posay, but significantly less expensive than the facial lotion options from Cetaphil and La Roche-Posay. Standout ingredients in this include 10% urea, shea butter, jojoba esters, niacinamide, and vitamin E. They do also specifically call out the inclusion of glycerin in this. That is something that you're basically going to find in every skincare product, so that's why I just don't highlight it, but that makes me think that there's probably also a I am struggling today. Also a substantial amount of glycerin in this moisturizer, which is also great, and fragrance-free as well. Again, in case you were curious to see what the ingredients list looks like next to some of those from CeraVe, Cetaphil, and La Roche-Posay, here you go. I would consider the texture of this to be like a medium weight lotion. It's not super, super lightweight in a gel-like sense, and I do feel like it's a little bit thicker than the CeraVe moisturizing lotion. Not by a ton, but like, yeah, it's medium weight. And I do think that when I get a good pump of this product, that the formula is definitely elevated compared to CeraVe and Cetaphil and La Roche-Posay body lotion. I think the La Roche-Posay moisturizers for the face have really nice formulations. They should, because they are incredibly expensive for the drugstore. But when it comes to the more like really low price point moisturizers, I do think that this one is supreme. However, if you noticed, I said when I get a good pump of this, because I don't always, due to some formulation issues that the brand has actually communicated about. So I didn't notice this until like a few attempts at using this product. And it's not that I didn't notice it, it just like didn't happen. And then, I don't know, maybe on like the fourth or fifth try of using this, I was like, why do I feel little granules in this? Like almost tiny exfoliating beads, not quite that intense, but a similar kind of feel. And I actually got a DM from the brand about this, which says that they have received a handful of DMs from customers who have purchased this moisturizing milk, saying that they felt a slight texture or graininess within the formula. That's how I would describe it as well. They said that they discovered a texture discrepancy in one of their production batches and believe that the texture that is being felt is the urea material that starts in powder form. They say if you received a bottle of this batch, you'll see that the material melts down upon application, which is true. It's not like I was left with granules on my skin. This formula is fine to use, however, it's obviously not our desired texture. We've already updated the manufacturing procedure to ensure we have formula consistency. We have decided to send our customers a new bottle of product once we have the next production run complete, and we want to send you one too. And yeah, we have definitely seen formulation / production issues with other influencer brand launches in the past. So that's not something that's like so out of the ordinary. In saying that, I feel like we've also seen a lot of influencers handle that really, really poorly. And I feel like this was the perfect way to respond to that situation by acknowledging the fact that customers are saying that, hearing them out, not being like, that's not true, explaining what that texture situation is about, explaining the fact that it's safe to use, and taking accountability by sending everybody a new moisturizer who's experiencing that. So I think that's a great response. Stuff happens. I am sure this was an insane amount of work to start this brand. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, wow, how embarrassing for you launching something like this with issues. Like, stuff happens. I know nothing about production and trying to find labs or any of that. So I just appreciate the way it was handled and think that's great. So overall, very nice moisturizing milk for sure. I will say, you guys know that I'm like so into any skincare that's described as milky. That's like my thing. Not maybe quite as like silky milky as I was hoping based on the description, but it is very nice. It's a solid moisturizer, and once those production issues are finished, I think this will be a great product from them. I would love to see something that's like maybe a little silky milkier. All right, and last but not least, we have the Skin Utility Ointment, which is supposed to be a multi-purpose skin protectant. So this is described as a mid-weight ointment that moisturizes and helps restore the skin barrier while protecting dry, chapped, cracked, and irritated skin. It's supposed to treat compromised skin and provide a comfortable occlusive layer. This retails for $18 $7 and contains 2 ounces of product, making it $9 per ounce, which is more expensive than the CeraVe Healing Ointment and the Cetaphil Healing Ointment. Less expensive than La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm, which is not an ointment, but is the most comparable product from the brand, given that that is also a skin protectant. Ingredients worth highlighting here include 45% petrolatum, mineral oil, dimethicone, brassica oil, bisabolol, L-proline, rice bran extract, sunflower seed extract, vitamin E, and rosemary leaf extract. In comparison to CeraVe and Cetaphil, because those are actually ointments as well, CeraVe has 46.5% petrolatum, so about the same thing. Cetaphil has 71.5% petrolatum, so quite a bit more. I think this is perfectly described as a mid-weight ointment because for me, the one that I'm always going to compare it to is the CeraVe Healing Ointment, and that one is definitely thicker. Once they're fully applied, they do have a very similar feel, but CeraVe's a little bit thicker than Prequel, and Prequel is not greasy at all. It doesn't have any of those like gross texture issues that some ointments can have. I do feel like CeraVe will probably still be my go-to for my nighttime eye cream. Like I'll still use this while I have it, but I don't know if it's something I would repurchase after because I do want something as thick as possible around my eyes to lock in that moisture, but I can totally appreciate why they created this, just to offer a lighter weight option for those that feel that CeraVe is too thick for them, or Cetaphil, given that that has so much petrolatum. Like if you're somebody that likes to slug your entire face and the CeraVe Healing Ointment just feels like putting heavy oil on your face, you will definitely prefer this. It is much better suited for something like that. So those are my initial thoughts on the first 3 product launches from Prequel. I think that they started off with a bang for sure. They have some really amazing products, great formulations, great ingredients. I am definitely excited to see what this brand continues to put out. It feels very well thought out. It feels intentional, and I feel like this will be a very successful brand. To me, this doesn't feel like just another influencer brand because again, I can really see what gap they're trying to fill in the market, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. Is this something that you saw launch and you were like, oh my gosh, here we go again, another dermatologist brand or another influencer brand? I don't feel that way, especially after testing all of these products and really reviewing them, but if you do, let us know in the comments. We'll have a chat there. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for doing those things. Your support means the world. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.